That show. And we also love being in the kitchen and eating healthy. That is a big thing as we start into the spring season. But healthy, it doesn't have to mean flavorless, it's flavorful.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And you'll know it's flavorful because you'll leave your table full.
There you go, feeling good. And in fact, we asked one of our favorite healthy chefs to join us today. I'm excited because, Chef Laura, I have never met you. I've been here since January. This is the first time you and I have been in the kitchen together.
I know, so I get to get Susan on with the pork.
Yes,
I'm excited.
I am excited. You stay so busy. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing. You have a lot going on right now.
Well, I own Celebrated Cuisine, which is private fine dining, private events, and we've been extraordinarily busy. And since we're referral only, it's been very exciting for us. You can find us on celebratedcuisine.com very easily. And then I also own Laura's Gourmet, which is the producer of 5 flavors of artisan crafted granola. And my grand poobah of granola production is currently making more granola as we speak this morning.
Love that.
Yeah, we've shipped an awful lot this year. We're way ahead. I'm very excited.
You guys are you're busy, and you still find time to make your meals so special and so intimate. I was just talking to you about pork chops, and you were explaining to me the difference between a bone-in pork chop and a boneless pork chop. You had so much passion. You cook with your heart, and I love that.
Passionate about pork. That's something to think about. So we are doing 2 different pork dishes today, and so I thought it'd be great to actually use 2 different types of pork. Even though they're both pork loin, this is obviously boneless, and this one has bone in. And it really comes down to what your personal preference is. People feel that with the bone in, you actually get a little more flavor, just like you would in a T-bone, for example, on a steak. And they're very similar in terms of where they come from on the pig, just like where the beef, the sirloin, etc., comes from on the beef. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to take each of these, we're going to pan sear them. They're going to be cooked in the pan. And I actually call these dishes more or less a one-pan pickup because you don't get very much dirty, you don't have to cut very much, and it all stays very, very healthy, as you'll see when we make the sauces. So if you need to put something on the table for your family and you want to do it flavorfully, you want to do it healthfully, and you want to do it quickly, then you can do these recipes.
I love it. Well, let's get going. And
Okay.
It's interesting because you remember when pork several years back came out with that big campaign, you know, the other white meat. Because a lot of people had kind of steered away from pork. But I think, you know, if it's done right and it can be flavorful and delicious, the entire family will enjoy it.
Yeah, if you're not deep frying it, I think you're good to
Yeah,
go.
there you go, and smothering it, which is the way a lot of folks do it.
Yeah, someone asked me the other day, you don't fry anything, do you? And I kind of looked at them going, I don't understand that word. I don't understand that word.
Healthy. We talked about healthy and flavorful.
So let's do this. Let's start with our actual boneless pork chop here. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a little crust for it. All it's going to consist of is egg white, which is in here. I'm going to add some panko, which is a Japanese-style breadcrumb. And it's a little bit more coarse than a standard breadcrumb. So we're just going to add this in here. We'll throw that together. And then we're just going to actually press this on top of our boneless pork chop.
Now, do you have to season this at all? Or?
I season the egg white with a little bit of our salt already. And that's it. But we're going to let the sauces take on that role.
Love that.
Okay, so all we're going to do then is once this comes together is just take a little bit of this and just press it right on top, okay?
Okay.
And you can crust the whole thing if you want to, but I just like doing the top because, again, it comes down to calories and all that. And what we're looking for is texture. When we eat as much for flavor as we do for texture. So this is going to give us a little bit of crunch in our pork chop without having to fry it. I
love that. And the panko, is that an ingredient that's used very often?
Panko is used quite a bit. It's like I said, if you're, you'll find it more and more actually very easily at the grocery store in the Asian food section. And then you'll also find it at other stores like Trader Joe's, etc. And what I love about it is that it doesn't have any seasoning on it, so you can control the flavor.
And that's exactly what I was asking, because you didn't even season the pork chop, so everything is going to come in from our sauces and the little bit of salt that you put into the egg white.
And we're using kosher salt, which is a sea salt, which is actually less sodium, teaspoon per teaspoon, as opposed to an iodized salt.
Okay.
This guy right over here is going to get a little bit of seasoning instead. So this is a combination of cinnamon, cumin, some smoked paprika, kosher salt, and some garlic powder. So what we'll do with him, I guess I just personified it, is we're just going to give it a nice little rub of our seasoning. Okay, and what I have in this.
Do you have to do this way ahead?
No, you actually can do it right before. And what I like to do is make sure that my meat is down to room temperature when I go to cook it.
Okay. Oh, that smells really good.
And so we can actually get both of these going at the same time, and I'll cook these during the segment, but very, very little bit of fat. So in one case, we're going to use just some grapeseed oil. Make sure your pan is hot first.
Grapeseed oil.
Grapeseed oil, as opposed to, well, you can use olive oil, you can use canola or what have you, but it just is going to impart the flavor to your dish. And then our other one, we're going to use just a little bit of butter. So here, you can see the oil shimmering. That's how you know. And that you're going to get your
So you go crust down.
Crust down first. Okay. And then this guy will get going and we'll come back and see where we are.
All righty. Well, we have about a little less than 30 seconds.
Okay.
These are going to cook throughout the segment. And you've got two very different sauces. We're doing two different types of pork chop, two different types of sauces here.
Yep.
So I love it. Pan-seared pork, we are going to continue cooking, and we're going to continue to sizzle, and Sonoran Living is going to move on too. We'll be back with you in just a bit, Chef Laura.
I'll be right here.
You.